I will now call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Texas Southmost College District. Trustees present, Ms. Delia Sáenz, Dr. Harris is on our way, Ms. Alejandra Aldrete, Mr. Edward Camarillo, Mr. Edgar Garcia, myself, and absent is Dr. Tony Zabaleta, and also present is our president, Dr. Jesus Roberto Rodriguez. And I'll call on Ms. Aldrete. You want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Public comment? Thank you. Let's go into the chair's report. I would like to begin my report with a brief update from our participation in the Community College Association of Texas Trustees Conference in Austin on September 11th through the 13th. These conferences are important to attend. Not only do Texas trustees have the opportunity to learn from each other, the sessions are packed with experts who facilitate discussions about legal compliance, legislative issues, policy considerations, and much more. And also, we find out how good we are doing. It's amazing how we attend these sessions and they're colleges that are like 2 or 3 years behind us, so it serves a dual purpose. Thank you, Mr. Garcia, for attending. I know it was a good experience for you. It was very nice, and Dr. Lopez Harris, too. Also, for the first time, our liaison, Ms. Claudia, attended. And needless to say, not only did she get trained, but it was so nice to have her because just the way she takes care of us here, she took care of us there. And thank you for all you do. And I know we don't thank you enough. Thank you. Next, the Texas Southmost College was well represented earlier this week at the International Awards 2025, where I was nominated and received the Infinity Medal Award. I'm not used to that. So, thank you. So, it was a surprise because I went by myself because I was so embarrassed to say I was going to get recognized. And then when everybody started coming in with their people, I said, oh, my people are not here. We have about half an hour. I said, I'm going to call the president to come. And I was very surprised and very, very thankful that everybody showed up that cared to show up, and it meant a lot. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It just felt good to have the representation that we had. Welcome, ma'am. The Medal Award, which honors individuals who selflessly dedicate their time and efforts to the well-being of others, leaving a lasting impact through their generosity and humanitarian spirit. We had community leaders and friends from both sides of the board participating. In addition to our president and a number of staff members, the Brownsville mayor was there, Commissioner Linda Macias, Port Commissioner Steve Guerra, and many others. It was a wonderful day to celebrate our community. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but a few select people from the community got selected, and it was really nice because it was such a good mix of people from boxing to county commissioners, port commissioner, who else was there? A commissioner from Hidalgo, a teacher. So it was well represented. It was a good award. The Centennial Celebration events are planned. For my final item, I am happy to report that the TSC Foundation Board of Directors had their annual meeting, or their monthly meeting, and approve the 2026 calendar of events for TSC Centennial Celebration during the September board meeting. We will kick off our college 100th anniversary with a Conjunto Festival on Saturday, January the 17th, 2026. Throughout the year, we will host several new events to strengthen our connections with the communities. We will also celebrate 100 years of service during our signature events like our annual gala as part of the centennial year. It is going to be a spectacular celebration all year long. And I'd like to call on Dr. Garcia? Oh, she's right here, I was looking for you. So can you give us a list of what's happening? The board is represented in the foundation, and the foundation is the body that does the fundraising, and so we have to do it through the foundation. Thank you, Dr. Garcia, and thank you and the whole committee that has done a wonderful job of coming up with nice events that everybody gets to participate in the community. And I think you're gonna see that every sector of the community is represented in the events. So,
thank you, Chair Garza, members of the board, President Rodriguez. What I wanted to start with is the logo.
I love it.
So we had several to look at. This one I think resonated simply because of if you look at the two zeros, it looks like a number 8, but it's an infinity, right? Mm-hmm. And so Joey Camacho, I'll show you the committee right now, he, under his breath, said, "For life." And so we laughed. We said, that's going to be the new hashtag, TSC for life. So you have the scorpion and you have the Gorgas outline. So we think it captures us very well. And then, of course, the 1926 to 2026. So I wanted to make sure you saw the logo because you'll start seeing the logo in many places as we start introducing and letting people know what's coming. And as Chair Garza mentioned, there was a committee that met several times. Julie Villalon and myself and Erica and others met with them, and even Dr. Tipton from Student Life, so that we made sure we were coordinating where we could on the student life services as well. But the committee is chaired by Joey Camacho, and the members from the foundation are Roy de los Santos, who's chair of the foundation, Chair Garza, she mentioned she's vice chair of the foundation, Norman Huesa, who's secretary of the foundation, and then our two trustees that sit on the foundation board, Dr. Norma Lopez Harris and Delia Science, were also on the committee. So it was made up of 6 committee members. And then ex officio, I would say, is the president as the CEO of the foundations also met with them. And the board met on September 4th, and they approved all of these events. And so as Chair Garza, the first event, and this will go on your calendars, is a Saturday, January 17th. It was a Conjunto Festival, and you see a really cool logo on the left. And those are the bands, local bands with some headliners. And so it starts in the morning with a student competition, and then it picks up again in the afternoon with several local bands and some fireworks, and then the headliner to close the evening. And so we're excited. We're working with the Avilas from San Benito that's pulling a lot of these artists together for us.
The idea when it started and it started in a conversation with the Avilas in San Benito, and I said, wouldn't it be nice if we could have 100 musicians for 100 years of celebration? And I think we're going to have more than 100 because with the student duelo, the competition with the accordion and the bajista, I think there's at minimum 25 pairs of students. So that will in itself be 50. So, and also the prices we've met with, I met with the brand of the accordion. Wow, I just escaped but they're providing, the prices will be an accordion and a bajo sexto. So so it's going to be pretty cool. If the weather holds, it's going to be great.
Yeah. And the backup will be going to go to Jacob Brown. And so we did get a grant from the city of Brownsville, so we'll be promoting this outside the region for alumni also to come in on this holiday weekend, because this is the MLK weekend in January, but it also kicks off our spring semester. In February, we have our standard Chado Fest with the students, but we're going to make it a little bigger and get it more involved with the community, but we're also creating our own TSC Loteria. And so we've got 54 images we're working on that marketing. We'll work together and we'll create our own Loteria game. And so adult daycares have already been reached out to. They will come in that morning to start playing at Jacob Brown, and then we will kick off our Chado Fest at the courtyard at 11 o'clock. In March, we will have a run. So Coach Mendoza, who's our cross-country coach, is working closely with us and helping us get the run registered. And so this one we will charge. The other two are free, except for the Loteria cards. So we'll have a half marathon, a two-person half marathon relay, and a 5K and a fun run. And so we want the entire family to come and enjoy the day on the campus. In April, we actually have 3 events. We have the gala, which is already scheduled for April 11th, the Diamond Gala. And we want to also participate with the Bougainvillea Ball because we are pushing for alumni. We want to invite the community and all past kings and queens to come and enjoy a live band and music and fun. And I think even Ms. Vice Chair Sines mentioned one of her friends was the 1968 Bougainvillea Queen, so we hope she comes and everybody comes to enjoy this Bougainvillea Ball. And Dr. Tip, we're working closely with Dr. Tipton on this as well. And we also will include Play Day at the zoo. And so we're working with instruction with Dr. Cortez to get a date. We already know not to get it the Sunday after the gala and do it on a different, Dr. Alvis, yeah. And so we will have the 3 events in April. And in May, this is a new event that we think will become an annual event. And this is for Memorial Day. And notice this is a Friday, May 22nd, the Friday before Memorial Day. And I did put the venue on this case because I wanted to make sure and show you this peninsula, which is on the other side of the pedestrian bridge across from the Casitas, is the former military cemetery for Fort Brown, where there were 3,000 soldiers buried there. And they have since been moved, but we want to do our Memorial Day event on this property in service and honor of those that died during service. And so the Monday before the event, we will be passing out free flags, and people can put a flag down in honor of someone. And then we will have the event the day before, I'm sorry, on that Friday, with some speakers that can talk about the property and as well as do blessings over the property, the land. That's in May. And looking at potentially even putting a monument there to honor those. And in June, we have 2 events. We, on the first Friday, it's actually the second Friday of June, because we're trying to participate like Brownsville does the first Friday events. So this is to give community family members something to do in the summers. But we would have a Scorpion Salsa social. Julie likes to put these titles together. And so this would be some salsa dance lessons for youth and as well as adults. So there'll be 2 different classes going on. And then actual dancing with a salsa band afterwards. And trying to get the 100 in there as well and perhaps get a conga line of 100 people during that event. And we're also going to see if restaurants will bring some salsa as well. And we have salsa and salsa at the event. Also in June, the 4th Friday.
Bring your bag of chips and we'll buy the salsa.
That's true. We'll say BYOC, bring your own chips, yes. June 26th would be Movies on the Lawn. And we will pick a movie and we will announce it and we will have families come in, hopefully enjoy a family-friendly movie in the evening in June. In July, note the date, Thursday, July 2nd, not on July 4th. We don't want to compete with other events, but we do celebrate, and we will be off on Friday the 3rd because it's an observance of the July 4th. So for us, it's a Friday night, right, our Thursday. And we want to we will plan, we are having a drone show. And we don't see a lot of drone shows, and this will be at iTech. So we did want to try to move them to different locations. And we have also communicated with a country western band that will be playing live music that day, and we will provide hot dogs. And then pet-friendly for the people, because if you're like my dogs that get scared with the fireworks, so this is no loud music. I mean, no loud sounds. So this will be at iTech, so it'll be inside and then outside. And in August, we are going to partner with Student Services on their Sting Day and see where we can bring in a performer to entertain the community and the students and what have you. And then in September, this is another event that I'm excited about, but it's going to be a lot of work. And we are going to start the process now. You'll see on the very bottom, September, October, we're going to do a call. We want to hear the stories of those that have come and made us who we are in the last 100 years. We've already heard from several community, the Cowans. We'll be reaching out to the Cowans, the Velas. There's others that their families have come to Texas Southmost College from, the 50s, the 60s. We hope we can get people back into the 30s and 40s. We want to tell their story, and then we want to put it in an exhibit. And that exhibit will be displayed in September of next year around Grandparents' Day. And we will, depending on how big it gets, and thank you to Dr. Alvis, we're going to be meeting with the art faculty tomorrow to talk about what that exhibit should look like. And then marketing, and we'll be doing a call for those stories, a call for alumni. And we want to be able to show their stories in different mediums, whether it's photos, stories, videos, artwork, what have you. We're also going to be asking for artifacts. If your friend has her stash from Bougainvillea, we'd like to put that in the display. Any sort of IDs, other things that people collected, their yearbooks, we want to put in the display. In October, we will have the haunted tour again, and we're adding a new caveat here. We're going to do a pumpkin mania. And this is also to bring the community. So you see kind of the pumpkins lined up, lit up. And the idea is that we would put them in the amphitheater and make it a photo op and start getting people to carve their own pumpkins. But we are looking for a vendor that can do laser cutting so we can do intricate pumpkins also of our programs, of our logos, and then use that for sponsorships. We will sell that to say, hey, if you want us to do your logo, we can do it for you. And if you want a preferred location in the front of the amphitheater, then for a cost, we can put your logo in the front as well. So it'll also be something we can raise money for. And then the bags, those clear bags, are bags that we would give to the families and the kids that want to trick or treat on campus with our logo on it as well. We plan to also do the Dia de los Muertos, which will be 2 days later on a Monday. And so similar what we did before, and we're hoping that we may even show Coco maybe on the Sunday before as a free matinee for families that may not have seen it or want to learn more about.
The second is Monday.
It's a Monday.
I was looking at this here and I'm going, no, it's a Sunday. No, it's a Monday.
Yeah. So we'll have the Halloween on the Saturday, the 31st, and then 2 days later, we'll go into Dia de los Muertos. And then our finale will be December 1st, and that is a Tuesday. So for those of you that were around for the 95th anniversary, we'll have something in the PAC, the Performing Arts Center, inviting all our electeds and other donors and other community stakeholders. We're going to start the process for securing the resolutions or the proclamations probably within the next month or so. And hopefully those electeds will be here in December of next year that can actually present the resolutions. And we'll have video ready by then, any other special recognitions. And then we go into the community event, which is open to the public. Taquiza or some sort of food, and a band, a live band. We want to incorporate our tree lighting. We want to do it all in one night because we know that it gets busy in December with all the different parties and holiday receptions and our own commencement and finals. And with this one, we want to end with a big bang, and not just a drone show, but a drone fireworks show. And that's where you see kind of the additional lights. You see the sparks on those. So it looks like it's kind of adds another element. So that's a little pricier. But on all of these events, we hope to, there'll be opportunities for fundraising, getting sponsorships, T-shirts, promotional items out to the community members. And we'll start promoting on billboards. That logo, you'll see them throughout the community, social media, billboards. And we actually talked to Texas Monthly earlier about getting an ad in there for alumni and to promote all the events. So we're hoping we get alumni interested in joining, and also, when they can, coming on the weekends to enjoy and celebrate with us the 100 years.
Good job, Dr. Garcia.
Thank you.
Yes, sure.
Congratulations to everyone in the foundation for this hard work, putting everything together. I mean, I can't wait for it.
I think they've done a really good job. Dr. Garcia and Julie and Erica and the committee has done really well. I'm really surprised with Joey Camacho, how he's I mean, he just took the bull by the
yeah.
horns and said,
Bueno.
we're gonna do it. And it's
We're
been
going to
very-
try to figure out how to put a QR code on a T-shirt, because he said we need to put QR codes on T-shirts.
Yes, and I think we have to follow that scorpion for life, you know?
Yes,
So,
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
it.
So we've had a good leader. Joey Camacho has done really, really well. And I'm really excited. I hope you guys are.
yes.
Because it took a lot of discussions and a lot of changes. And we wanted to do something for everybody in the community. And when we wanted, talking about the loteria, it was just, well, that's a faction of the community that we have to bring them in. So we're talking to all the daycare centers to see if they can just bring them in, play loteria. I'm sure there's going to be some alumni there that have come and can reminisce about their years at TSC. And I'm hoping that we have some kind of video for them to see before they start playing the loteria, because I'm sure there's some came to TSC. So with that being said, thank you very much. Next, we're going to call on the president for his report. Top that one.
No, I can't. I can't. I won't. No. Really exciting times. Really exciting times. Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, trustees. I would like to begin my report with some great news. The Texas Southmost College Scholarship Fund received a significant donation this month. Our industry partner, Bechtel, presented the TSC Foundation with a check of $50,000. The gift will support students in the TSC Piping Level 2 program. In addition, Bechtel is seeking to hire 40 qualified graduates from this program by the end of the year. So on behalf of the Scorpion community, I would like to thank Jamie McMillan, Bechtel Vice President and Project Manager, and Mike Demers, Deputy Site Manager, and the entire Bechtel team for making this investment. I would also like to thank our Vice President, Mr. Richard Mesquias, for his work in facilitating this collaboration with Bechtel. And I would also like to thank our Madam Chair for participating in the event and giving some beautiful words. To continue with the good news, Security First Credit Union presented TSC with a check for $7,500 as part of our new apprenticeship banking program. The innovative 11-week program will prepare BISD students for apprenticeships and entry-level positions in the credit union and banking industry. We greatly value this partnership with President and CEO of Security First Credit Union, Andy Reed, as well as our partners at Texas Regional Bank. And thank you to Mr. Mesquias and his team for developing this opportunity for our communities. In addition to growing our TSC Scholarship Fund, we're also pursuing SAC-COC permission to grow our off-campus instructional sites. The SAC-COC site visit team was here this week to visit our dual enrollment partner campuses. They arrived on Monday, and they are just winding up their visit today. At this time, I would like to invite Associate Vice President, Mr. Oscar Hernandez, to the podium to provide us with the latest update regarding our SAC-COC site visit.
No
Madam
bad
Chair,
news.
Good afternoon.
No bad news.
I hope not.
No.
Members of the board, Madam Chair, President Rodriguez, as Dr. was mentioning, we had visitors this week from Monday. They just left this morning. And I'm happy to report that they offered no recommendations, no findings, so we're in the clear. They visited 5 different schools. And they were extremely impressed with the work that TSC is doing with all of our partners. So we're in the clear for now. Our next steps will be.
And they said we couldn't get accredited.
That's right.
They said we would never be accredited, and look at us. Thank you.
The next step will be, of course, our fifth-year interim report that will be reviewed in November, and we should be hearing about it in December during the annual conference. Without a conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. You know, it's amazing when we don't take credit, and you said the wonderful job we are doing, because it's all of us, and it takes all of us. And I look at you, and I always say, this is my TSC family, and I know you guys feel that way amongst yourselves, because I've seen the collaboration, and this is the result. You know, when they can't find anything wrong, because we all work together, and you help each other out. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it.
I would like to thank everyone from the Institution of Effectiveness and Educational Technologies and Student Services team who worked to prepare data needed in advance, prep for this in-person visit, and finally host the site visit team, just like what Madam Chair just shared. It's a collective effort to make this work. But I do want to say a special thank you to Mr. Oscar Hernandez for leading and coordinating the teams, as well as to Ms. Vanessa Vasquez, Ms. Ruth Torres, and Ms. Prisa Tipton for their expertise, contributions in making this site visit successful. So thank you. Texas Outmost College was in the spotlight during the September session for the RGV Leadership Partnership Program. Each year, up-and-coming leaders from across our communities apply to become part of the RGV Partnerships Program. Higher education was their featured topic for September, and I served on the panel with other institutions of higher education's leaders at South Padre Island. It was a good opportunity to cultivate more ambassadors for the good work we are doing. Our Scorpion community observed the 9/11 Day Remembrance last week. It was a true community collaboration with Rivera High School ROTC Color Guard participating in the Brownsville Fire Department Deputy Chief Gabriel Garza serving as our keynote speaker. We had a good community turnout to honor the victims of that day, as well as to support our first responders. Thank you to Dr. Plummer, Dr. Tipton, and her Student Life team for hosting this community event. As we have been preparing for the fall semester, our hardworking student services team, led by Dr. David Plummer, Ms. Vanessa Vasquez, and Dr. Prissy Tipton, has held a number of events to engage our community and foster student success. These includes the Constitutional Day, Coffee Day, Mindful Mondays, Waffle Wednesdays, club fairs. And now it is time for this month's video highlighting the activities that have occurred since we last met. Would you please roll the video? Oh, yeah. In closing, I would like to thank the Board of Trustees for your continued support and commitment to the college and the communities that we serve. So on behalf of our Scorpion community, we truly appreciate your leadership as we continue to move forward with purpose and direction. Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 6, consideration and possible action on the approval of of the minutes of the following board meeting. Regular meeting, August 28. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of August 28.
I so move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Aldrete, second by Mr. Camarillo. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Number 7, Student Services, Dr. Lopez Harris.
The Student Services Committee met on Monday, September 8th, 2025. Present were Chair Garza, Trustee Garcia, President Rodriguez, myself, and members of the TSC administration. The committee discussed the following item: update and information on Texas Southmost College's NJCAA intercollegiate items. And I'm going to call on Dr. Plummer to present the item.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez Harris, Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez. Exciting year. We have soccer again. We're expecting bigger and better things with soccer, but also now our new cross-country team. And with your permission, I'd like to give Dr. Tipton a chance to give you an update.
Thank you, Dr. Plummer. Madam Chair, President Rodriguez, members of the board. So we're happy to present an update on our athletics area. So we're happy to present that we have our official soccer team rosters for the National Junior College Athletic Association. The women's team comprises of 28 student athletes, and for the men's team, 31 student athletes. We also want to inform you that our some of the recognitions from our soccer team athletes, we have Elizabeth Torres, who is an NJCAA second team All-Academic. Romaldo Gonzalez, NJCAA second team All-Academic. America Gonzalez, NJCAA third team All-Academic. Camila Mines, NJCAA third team All-Academic. And Clarity Martinez, NJCAA third team All-Academic.
Very good. Very nice.
We also have university transfers. So all of these students that we have here, they've all graduated from Texas Southmost College with their associate degree, and they transferred to play soccer at these colleges. So we have Anaí Banda, Texas A&M San Antonio. Serena Rodriguez went out to Texas A&M San Antonio as well. Kevin Zamora, Our Lady of the Lake University. Romaldo Gonzalez, Our Lady of the Lake University. And Ricardo Davila, West Virginia Wesleyan University.
Everybody has a partner. They have a partner, like 2 girls to San Antonio and the 2 boys.
They have a plan.
The buddy system.
And these are some of our upcoming games for the women's team. So in orange are our away teams, and in blue are our home team games. So we're hoping that your schedule allows you all to join us. And like Dr. Plummer mentioned, we have our cross-country NJCAA official rosters. So for women's team, we have 6 student athletes, and for the men's team, we have 6 student athletes as well. They're a good bunch. So these are these are the invitational meets that they're out running at, and we are also happy to report that on their first invitational, the men's brought home their 2nd place, and women's are 3rd place.
Not bad.
So they'll be traveling in October to San Antonio, and October 18 to Brenham, and then in November they'll be traveling to Iowa.
Wow.
So our travel request will be coming up soon.
Lo están preparando.
Yes,
Good setup, thank you.
yes. We're happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This item is for information only, no action is required. Madam Chair, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. We're going to facilities. Mr. Camarillo?
Yes, ma'am. The Facilities Committee met on Monday, September the 8th, 2025. Present were Chair Garza, Trustee Garcia, President Rodriguez, myself, members of the TSC administration, and the College Legal Counsel. The committee discussed the following items. 8A, Facilities Update. I'll call on Dr. Garcia for the presentation.
Sorry, I have a mint in my mouth. Thank you, Trustee Camarillo, Chair Garza, members of the board, President Rodriguez. With your permission, I have Mr. Ronnie Robles and Mr. Gerardo Mascoro who will provide the update.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. President Rodriguez. This is just an update for your information. First one is thermal cooling plant tower installation. We're well on our way to having towers 3 and 4 put in place. They've removed everything, and structural engineers in the process of reviewing to make sure all the structure has been put in place properly, and they will begin to put that, once that's approved, the towers 3 and 4 will be installed. We're still on schedule. Here you'll see the picture on the 2 on the left are the two towers 1 and 2. The 2 on the right are the old towers that have been removed. That's what they look like when they were coming out. They're loaded on 18-wheeler to get pulled out. Next is the hydronic line replacement project. That's the underground water chill and hot water lines that will be replaced. Here you'll see on the left the area that has been our biggest problem area. And the 3 pictures on the right are just different areas that we've had to excavate when leaks have occurred. Half and Associates has developed the drawings, the plans. They've been stamped. They're ready to go. The next step is to continue to proceed with purchasing to determine the proper bidding process. Once that's completed, proposals will come back to the Board of Trustees for approval on what the next step would be in terms of the return of the bidding process. Next is the pipe fitting lab at ITech. Everything's been completed. The job will start next week, I believe, Monday. Yeah. So it's going to double their size of numbers from 10 to 20. So they'll go from putting out the number of students from 10 to 20. Here's just some pictures of the area that they were, of that area. Now, we started a new project. It's the rehab of the American Legion for the company that will be coming in and renting a portion of that building. Scope of work has been completed. Preliminary estimates were returned on the 12th. Roofing work is underway. This rain keeps stopping them from working because they'll make some advancements. It rains, they have to wait for it to dry. So it's been a little bit of a prolonged process, but just as soon as it dries up enough, they'll get back to it. HVAC repairs have also started as well. Mr. Mascoro's group has been diligently getting that project together. Here you'll see the pictures of the outside of the building. There's another side view. And that's just the water that's been up there that will begin to dry out, and we think we can start working again, but it comes back, the rain comes back, so we have to wait for that to dry out. Here you'll just see one of the areas that they put down a lot of the material to stop the degradation in that space. Finally, the water tower demolition, they're on site. They started today or yesterday beginning to put together their crane so that they can start the cut work and get everything completed. So we should start to see some cutting possibly this weekend, if not for sure next weekend, or next week, I should say. And the project's expected to be 4 weeks long. And we will work they will work in conjunction with our tower personnel that also will be installing the towers so that there's no mishaps or anything that occurs that get somebody hurt or damage some equipment. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Mascoro. This item is for information only. No action is required. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Robles and Mr. Mascorro. Thank you very much for all the work that you do. And I know when I say family, I see how your department works and how you help each other out. I've seen you guys work together, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Finance Committee, Ms. Delia Sines.
The Finance Committee met on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Present were Madam Chair Garza, President Rodriguez, myself, members of the TSC administration, and college legal. The committee discussed the following items: consideration and possible action on award RFP 25-15 for book publishing. I call on Dr. Stella Garcia.
Thank you, Vice Chair Sines, Chair Garza, members of the board, President Rodriguez. I'm passing a sample of the company that is being recommended this evening. We went out on an RFP. This book will be to commemorate the 100th anniversary. And so we wanted to get something in place. Don't anticipate this will be ready until '27, but getting all the process in place because we're going to be very busy in '26, so we just wanted to get this in place. So this is just the timeline. It did go to the Finance Committee last week, and we're here this evening. And again, we were looking for a turnkey process, so you should have received the proposals as well under separate cover. We did, this was an evaluation committee. It was myself, Monica Gonzalez, who's a grant writer and English major, and Dr. McCauley, also a technical writer. And then we wanted to include the librarian as well. So they were the committee that evaluated the proposals. And we did receive 2. And so Ideal Publishers is the book that they've done. They sent us samples. And so we had specifications in the RFP that each of the proposers responded to, which was to respond about creating a book that has 112 pages. So the books that you have are a little bit bigger than that, but we needed to compare apples to apples. The word count of 20,000 and so on, so the specifications were the same. And so Ideal Publishers, their proposal for 1,000 books was $39.37 is what it would cost us versus the other bidder, Sophisticated Real Life at $65. And so even if you read the proposal, you would have seen that this does not include the author's cost. And so for Ideal Publishers, if we ask them to get an author, because we already have a lot of it already written, but if we asked, it'll be about $100 a page. So it'd be another $10,000 or $12,000, which still comes in lower than the other proposer that bid. And so the committee's recommendation was Ideal. And you see where the green areas are the strength areas of the proposal. And it is budgeted in this year's budget. And I'm happy to answer any questions on this project.
Questions? I move to award RFP 25-15 for book publishing to Ideal Publisher, LLC, and authorize President Rodriguez to execute the contract as presented.
Motion by Ms. Sines,
Second.
second by Dr. Harris. Any discussion?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
One question, Dr. Garcia, does this also come in a digital format? Or is this just a hard copy?
I asked that question. It is not a digital.
It's not a digital?
It is not.
Okay.
But I think we asked, it's like we can turn it, we'd have to do it ourselves. We can turn it into a digital. We're going to have the file,
Right.
so we would just turn it in, but they wouldn't.
They wouldn't create it for
Yeah.
us? Okay, thank you.
You know, at the beginning, when I saw the books, we talked about, well, we don't want that much writing. But then I'm thinking about it, no, we do want. We want the story to be told because this is a book for the next 100 years. So I think I changed my mind on that. I like all the pictures, but I think we need to tell the story of what has happened in this 100 years.
And we have plenty, and I say we have plenty of time, because I can already see myself going, we're running out of time. But I think with enough, because we have enough time, and one of them made a really good point, because I would thought we needed to have it ready for 26. And they said no, because then you'd only be telling 99 years of history and not 100. So you really need to get through the 26 and then have it ready for 27. So we already have 95 years because of the 95th anniversary. There's a lot of work already done with a lot of narrative with the 17-minute film I think we have. And so it's just a matter of refreshing that and then adding some additional narrative. So I think we can do a lot of it within the college and then just send it to them to lay it out and edit it and then, give you all an opportunity to kind of say, no more pictures, less pictures, what have you. But
And it's nice
we
to
have
look
time.
at pictures, especially if you're in it, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's important to tell the story because that hasn't been done. And TSC has gone through wonderful transformations. So I think it'd be good for the older students that came in the 1930s and 1940s. I think it'd be a good Christmas present as well.
And just on that note, I think it is important to consider a digital version of it because, the hard copy is one thing, but in the future, down the road, does anybody have extra copies of it? But no, but it's digitally and it's archived. I think we should, if we can look into that, I think we should.
Yeah, certainly put some codes or websites within embedded because you can also go to a video potentially and look at some of that stuff. Yeah, certainly we would look into that.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Item 9B, consideration and possible action on approval of optical character recognition software with Shamrock Solutions LLC. I call on Mr. Luis Villarreal.
Thank you, Ms. Sines. Madam Chair, members of the board, and President Rodriguez. Before you, you have a recommendation to award a multi-year deal to Shamrock, who is the Shamrock Solutions, who is offering us optical character recognition software. We've actually been using this software for years. It's never made it to the board before because it does not nearly approach the minimum threshold for board approval. The reason we're bringing it to you this year is that we found out that the platform that they are offering us to do this, and it's mostly used by the student services, by the way, is going away, and they're upgrading to a different platform, which is much more expensive. When that happened, our negotiation skills went into play, and we decided that it would be best for us to negotiate a multi-year deal with them where they would keep us at the current pricing for the software we currently use and not to go to the software pricing they were offering, which is like 3 times as much. So for about 4 times the cost over the next 4 years, we're avoiding probably $80,000, $90,000 worth of cost should we upgrade without a multi-year deal.
Thank you.
I hope that made sense.
I appreciate you working on that. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Any questions? Okay. I move to approve the contract for optical character recognition software from Shamrock Solutions LLC through exempted purchasing method with a total 4-year contract amount of $91,870,080, and authorize President Rodriguez to execute the contract as presented.
Second.
By Ms. Sines, Sines by Dr. Lopez Harris. Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Mr. Villarreal, does this allow students or anyone from the outside like to request a transcript online?
Yeah, so this is really used so that we can continue to scan documents and student services. It's really not about the request for the online transcript. It's really about us taking hard documents, scanning them, and then the optical character recognition allows the department to actually turn those fields into sort of dynamic fields that they can do, they can extract data from to do reporting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any more questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
9C, monthly financial statement report for the month ended July 31st, 2025. I call on Mr. Carlos Pecero.
Thank you, Vice Chair Science. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, I have for you the monthly financial statement report for the period ended July 31st. We have three fund types that we adopt a budget for. So I'll go over the first of the three here, which is the Education and General Fund, and I'll concentrate my presentation here on the July column. So on this sheet, we have a subtotal for revenue in the general fund, which is 6.8 million. On the next slide, we move on to the expenditures. We have two subtotals, salaries and wages, 2.3 million, benefits, 594,000. On the next slide, we have the M&O category, and that starts here on this slide and concludes here with a subtotal for July of 1.4 million. On this slide, we have two subtotals, one for travel, which is 21,000, and one for general institutional, which is 73,000. I'll highlight on this last slide for the general fund, the total for July 4.4 in expenditures, so that's revenue and expenditures for the general fund. Moving on to the second of the three fund types, we have the auxiliary fund. Revenue for the month of July, 61,000. On this slide, we have the expenditures, and we have two subtotals, salaries and wages of 53,000 and benefits of 14,000. The following slide has the M&O category for the auxiliary fund. It starts there and concludes on this slide, and the subtotal for January is 32,000. The last slide for the auxiliary fund. So this is total expenditures for July, 100,000. So that's revenue and expenditures for the auxiliary fund. And the last of the three fund types are general obligation and revenue bond funds. We have revenue on this slide of 92,000. And the next slide has expenditures, which for the month of July, we have $0 in expenditures. Just as a reminder, we have debt service payments in February and in August. So next month is when in August is when we had our debt service payments. So with that, I'll conclude my presentation. That was revenue and expenditures for all three fund types, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pecero.
Thank you.
This item is for information only. No action is required.
Thank you, sir.
Item 9D, report of the grants awarded to Texas Southmost College for the month of July. I call on Mr. Carlos Pecero.
Thank you, Vice Chair Steins. Madam Chair, members of the board, President Rodriguez, I have two items on the grants awarded report for the college. One is from the Texas Workforce Commission, which is an award that had been provided to us in a prior period, prior months. We're bringing this for presentation now. It's an $84,000 grant. The other item that's on this report is an extension of a period of availability from a TEA award, and that takes the period of availability from July 31st out to September 30th, which we can see here. So those are the two new items on the report. The remaining slides have the detail for year-to-date activity and a subtotal there for the awards that we've received, $3 million. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. I'll conclude my presentation with that.
This item is for information only. No action is required, and this concludes my report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing how we don't see the grants, and then they add up, and then it's like, we got that much? Thank you. Academic Committee, Ms. Aldrete?
The Academic Committee met on Monday, September 8, 2025. Present were Chair Garza, Trustee Zabaleta, President Rodriguez, myself, members of the TSC Administration, and College Legal Counsel. The committee discussed the following item. 10A, consideration and possible action on the Memorandum of Understanding between Texas Southmost College and Region 1 Education Service Center. I call on Dr. Alves.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Rodriguez. For your consideration and possible action, I present the following memorandum of understanding between Region 1 and Texas Southmost College. We propose to establish a formal agreement to ensure the sustained collaboration and effective implementation of House Bill 5, College Preparatory Course Program. The HB 5 CPC in English and Math were developed in direct response to state legislative mandates designed to enhance college readiness amongst high school graduates. In alignment with these requirements, regional institutions of higher education, which TSC is a part of, engaged in a coordinated effort to design a standardized framework culminating in a jointly endorsed memorandum of understanding. This agreement is intended to guarantee equitable access and consistent academic support for all students across the region, regardless of their respective high school, post-secondary institutions. To further strengthen these instructional practices and program fidelity, a collection of resources has been curated to assist educators currently responsible for delivering these courses. This memorandum has also been reviewed and approved by both TSC College and Board Legal Counsels. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I move to approve the MOU between Texas Southmost College and Region 1 Education Service Center and authorize President Rodriguez to execute the agreement as presented.
A motion by Ms. Aldrete,
Second.
second by Ms. Science. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
This concludes my report.
That was fast. Policy Committee, Ms. Aldrete.
The Policy Committee met on Monday, September 8, 2025. Present were Chair Garza, President Rodriguez, myself, members of the TSC administration, College Legal, and Board Counsel. The committee discussed the following items: consideration and possible action to approve the TASB update 49 local policies CHA, DIAB, FFDB, and FLBC. I call on Frank Perez.
Thank you, Trustee Aldrete. Madam Chair, members of the board, and President Rodriguez, the following four local policies are the only local policies remaining from TASB Local Update 49. They include the following: CHA Local Site Management Inspections. TASB's recommendation for this policy is to delete it completely because the language from this particular policy, CHA, has been moved to CGF, which the board addressed in August, which was last month. We have DIAB, Local Freedom from Discrimination, Harassment, and Retaliation, Other Protected Characteristics. TASB's recommendation is to revise this policy as set forth in the attached red line version in your packet. The language relates to retaliation. It has been updated and reorganized at page 4, as you can see, and the purpose was to clarify the scope and applicability of the prohibition on retaliation. Examples have been revised to reference also intimidation and coercion. There's also language that has been reorganized and updated at page 4 related to false claims, and that's to provide clarity regarding distinctions between prohibited retaliation and discipline for false claims and the applicability of the prohibition of false claims to students. FFDB Local Freedom from Discrimination, Harassment, and Retaliation, Other Protective Characteristics. TASB's recommendation again is to revise this policy as set forth again in the red line version contained in your packet. Similar to FFDB, the previous policy, the language related to retaliation has been updated and reorganized at page 5 of your packet, and to clarify the scope and applicability of the prohibition on retaliation. There have been examples that have been revised to reference also intimidation and coercion. Language related to failure to report these violations and false claims has been updated and reorganized at pages 5 through 6 for clarity, including the addition of references to employees' responsibility to comply with reporting requirements and the prohibition on intentional false claims and statements. FLBC, Local Student Conduct, Prohibited Organizations, and Hazing. This is a new policy recommended to this particular local policy. The new recommended local policy language addresses campus hazing in response to the federal Stop Campus Hazing Act. Provisions have been added related to hazing that is prohibited, reporting procedures, investigation of the report, and access to policies, procedures, and related materials. Hazing, of course, as you may understand from news reports, is the intentional, usually violent sometimes, and sometimes intimidating conduct towards various members of the TSC community in order for them to participate or to gain participation or access and membership in an organization. The definitions vary somewhat between the Texas law and the federal law, but that remains basically the concept behind hazing and prohibited hazing. Thank you. That concludes my report.
I move to approve the following legal policies: CHA, DIAB, FFDB, and FLBC as presented.
Motion by Ms. Aldrete,
Second?
second by Ms. Science. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
This concludes my report.
Thank you, ma'am. The board will now convene an executive session as provided by Government Code, Chapter 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, 551.0761, and 551.071. We're still in executive session. Back from executive session. There was an error in one of the minutes, and we voted on, and Mr. Pacero caught it. Mr. Pacero, will you tell us what we did and how we need to correct it?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, President Rodriguez, there are 2 minutes that were voted on for approval, one for the public hearing and one for this regular board meeting. So in each of those minutes, the phrasing on the tax rate was per $100,000 evaluation, and it should read per $100 evaluation. So that reads in both of the minutes that were voted on just recently. I think we can have one motion here to amend and make that correction.
Okay, so I need a motion to correct the minutes of, son 2 dates, ¿verdad?
Yes, the
So,
public hearing minutes and the regular board minutes.
Okay, so I
Same
need a
date.
motion to correct the minutes of the public hearing and the regular board meeting of
August 28th,
August
2025.
2025.
Correct.
I move to correct the minutes, the board minutes for the August 28th and the September
The hearing and the.
public hearing and
The board meeting.
the regular board
Okay,
meeting.
I have a motion, Maestro Camarillo.
Second.
Second by Ms. Aldrete. Any discussion? Is everybody clear with what would
Yes.
happen? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Thank you.
I have executive committee motions. Ms. Aldrete?
I move that the Board of Trustees authorize and approve the fiscal year 2025-2026 salary schedule as discussed in executive session.
Second?
I have a motion by Ms. Aldrete, second by Mr. Camarillo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Trustees award RFP 2513 and authorize President Rodriguez to execute the contract as presented and as discussed in executive session.
A motion by Mr. Edgar Garcia,
Second.
second by Ms. Delia Science. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Okay. Almost done. So now we will have, do we have dates? Where is it? Oh. Next board meeting, Thursday, October the 16th. Okay with everybody? And then November the 20th. Is that before Thanksgiving?
Yes, that
It is?
Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Okay. So we have a board meeting and then we go on Thanksgiving. Okay. And we don't need to vote on this. I need entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Aldrete, second by Mr. Camarillo. They're in a hurry to leave. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Vámonos, que mi hija está sola.